Hello guys, welcome back here. My name is Ken here at Programming House. Today we'll be looking at regular applications, uh, re- oops, regular expressions. Uh, it is supported in all scripting languages, in Perl, Python, PHP, JavaScript. So today we'll be looking at its application in HTML. In HTML, regex is used to create patterns that the user input must match, and if by any case the user doesn't provide an input that will match the pattern, the regex pattern given out, an error message will be thrown. So for us to continue, I suppose that you have a basic knowledge on HTML, on creating input of type text and form submission methods. So to start, I will create a folder under my desktop in tutorials. Let me delete it to start from the scratch. So I'll have a folder, regex. Then you need to find to have your favorite editor. Me, I'm using a Visual Studio Code, so I recommend you to have it, or maybe your other favorite. So I will open that folder in Visual Studio, and inside the folder I will have an index.html file. Yeah. So another thing, there is an extension here I'm using, live server. Yeah, this one. You can install it. It's very helpful in this tutorial. So I'm going to create a form with a post method. Then inside the form, I will have an input of type text, then a button of submit type, then let's call that button submit. Now we can go live here. You can create a server in HTML, JavaScript server. So with live server, we don't have to keep on reloading our page once it's loads. The extension, once it notices there's a change in our code, it will automatically refresh the page. So back to this document here, and this document I will share it in the description, in my description. So make sure to go through this document. It has a lot of basic information about regex that I find very useful if you want to venture out and to tap the best of this tool. So you have special characters. They are they are these ones. So in this tutorial, we'll do it by example. So we will have in our input field, we'll have two keywords. The first one is pattern, then the other one is title. So inside this pattern, now this is where we'll define our regular expressions. Then in the title, now this is where we'll have the error description in case the input provided by the user doesn't match the pattern there. So let's say, for example, we want the user to input numerical values of any size. Then we'll have the title as only numeric values allowed. If we'll come here and type something like this is alphabet, you'll see there's this kind of error. Please match the requested format. Only numeric values are allowed. If you will supply a numeric value, you'll see it's submitted. So we don't have a script to process our submission, our form submission. But at least you'll get to understand it, because if the pattern is not met, then there is no submission. We'll have to see that error. So I think this is roughly a good introduction to it, because if there is no if the pattern is not met, then the post will not, the form will not be submitted. So if you need your users to input numerical values of any size, any length, this is the regex pattern that you will use. The blocks, now here is where you define the kind of input that you want. Then that addition sign, as you can see in this document here, under occurrences, this addition sign means one or more. This is the example here, 0 to 9 matches only one or more digits, such as 1 to 3, blah, 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 blah. Now, let's say you wanted the user to supply numerical values of length 3 and above. This is the regular expression that you will use. So if we come here and supply something that's less than 3, now let's change the title. We'll have 3 and above numerical values allowed. Now if we supply 1, you'll see there's an error, 3 and above numerical values allowed. If we supply more than 3, the submission will be accepted. If we supply 3, it's still okay, but lesser than 3, you will see that error. So that is it. If you want to submit inputs of length greater than 3. Now, if you want exactly 3, you just put the 3 inside the curly brackets. So if you submit 2, you'll see there's an error. Now let's change the title. 3 numeric values allowed. So if we supply 2, there's an error. If we supply 4, there is an error. Only 3 are allowed. So that's good. Now, if you want a range, maybe 3 to 5, 3 to 6. So you want the user to supply an input of numerical values, length 3 to 6. This is the expression that we'll provide. So if we come here, supply 3, it's okay. If you supply 2, wait a minute. If you supply 2, as you can see, it's not allowing, it's throwing this title, meaning that your input doesn't match the pattern given. If you supply 3, it will be submitted. If you supply greater than 6 as the length, you'll see the submission is not accepted. So that is it. Now let's say you want to have 0 or more length of the input. 0 meaning none. So here you will instead have that asterisk value there. So you just have that asterisk value there. And if you run, still submitted. If you supply thing, it's still submitted. But it has to be numeric values. So guys, that is it about numeric values. So there is something that I want you to get note of. These two these two characters here. So $sign and this other one here. The first one, it is used to denote the start of a line, and the $sign is used to denote the end of a line respectively. So like in our case here, this is the start of the line, of the expression rather, and here we have the end of our expression. So when you have two of them, this one denoting the start of the expression, this one the end of the expression, it will help because the processing, the whole of the input will be processed, meaning that there is no subdivisions. So this one will always use to mark the beginning, and this one the end. So if you see them, make sure you're not confused. Now let's say you want to have alphabets. So we'll have A to Z, meaning lowercase only values are allowed here. But let's say plus, meaning of any length. So here, if we try to provide a numeric value, there will be an error. Here, let's say the title is lowercase values accepted. So we will try to provide a string of alphabet. Now yes, you can see it's being accepted. So you can use the other techniques that we have learned there. Now, something that I want you to understand to help you get the main use of these two $sign and the other one there. Maybe you want a string to end with maybe .com.